Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, and we are going to be discussing the topics around the settlement, around a lot of information coming out around the SEC as well. So with all of that in mind, let's just dive in, and let's start off with this tweet here from Leia over on Twitter, and we do see Ross Ulbricht, which, by the way, if you guys don't know who Ross is, he is serving several life sentences, actually, for creating Silk Road. It was an early on marketplace centered around Bitcoin on the dark web, which kind of spiraled out of control and ended up being a marketplace for things that were not obviously, deemed sellable to most people. I mean, you've seen a lot of drugs being pushed over Silk Road. You've seen a lot of weapons, things like that. So obviously, yeah, it was going to get shut down, but I don't believe that Ross deserves life sentences. Also, I know a lot of people will say, he tried to hire hitmen and stuff. A lot of that information has been twisted. A lot of things have come out since then, but it's interesting because here we have Ross, who's serving several life sentences, and here we have Sam Bankman-Fried, who stole billions of dollars from the average person, and he will now be speaking at the New York Times conference. Political corruption goes deeper than you realize. And yes, for those out there that don't know, there was a tweet that came out that SBF, it was actually from his official account, saying that he'll be speaking with Andrew Sorkin, I hope that I'm saying that last name right, at the Deal Book Summit next Wednesday. This is very interesting, and we do see from Johnny Deaton, let me make this clear, if SBF isn't arrested and charged with fraud, wire fraud, theft, and possibly money laundering before and instead gets to spew out his nonsense narrative, our system of justice has been compromised. Elizabeth Warren, you claim to be for the little guy. Where are you? In fact, where is all of Congress? Where's, what is going on here? Where's the justice in this? Because a lot of individuals, and I would argue that there has been many out there that have lost their life savings, has been extremely hurt by this entire FTX situation. And the same goes for the SEC as well. $15 billion in damages should not be going overlooked. I think that we need to have a full-on investigation into the SEC. We're going to be talking about that here in a second, but we do see over here from Digital Asset Investor, this is from a Twitter Spaces with Johnny Deaton and also Martin Heisboek from Uphold. Listen closely to this. This is very interesting. We do see no arrest and everybody's treating this guy like he made a mistake, and it's a redemption story. It can only mean one thing, in my opinion, and yeah, we will talk about that here in a second.
There was no infrastructure. They didn't have an accounting department. How do you not have an accounting department?
No cybersecurity expert, but plenty of beanbags, John.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it is insane. The absolutely what you just pointed out. It's just insane that due diligence hasn't been done. The craziest theory that I've heard, which is not really a theory, is from an FBI fraud investigator who alleged that SBF was a front for a criminal organization that was laundering money from Asia.
And honestly, there is so much going on behind the scenes with this, but to me, one thing is clear. SBF was a fall guy for regulations, strict regulations. If that was not the case, then we would have already have seen, some sort of action taking place. The fact that this individual can continue to walk around like nothing happened, it's a big mistake, I gotta redeem myself, blah, blah, blah. This is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. First off, I think that the SEC 100% should take full responsibility because they have met with Sam Bankman-Fried on multiple occasions. And not only that, but FTX was operating within the United States as well. They had a United States office. The fact that this went unknown from the SEC as they continue to tout their nonsense about catching Kim Kardashian and, we're going after Ripple, we're going after Library. Like all of this time, they were doing nothing for this entire space. It is absolutely ridiculous. We do see over here from Tom Emmer. We were concerned in March that Gary Gensler was taking an discriminate and inconsistent approach to oversight of the crypto community. And here's March 16th. This is a quoted tweet from Tom Emmer. My office has received numerous tips from crypto and blockchain firms that SEC Chair Gary Gensler's information reporting requests to the crypto community are overburdensome, don't feel particularly voluntary, and are stifling innovation. 100%. We are even more concerned now as we've seen his strategy miss Celsius, Voyager, Terra Luna, and now FTX. Congress shouldn't have to learn the details about the SEC's oversight agenda through Planet stories in progressive publications, and we look forward to Gary Gensler's public testimony before the financial CMTE. And yes, I do believe that we need to have some sort of major investigation here. First off, the fact that Gary Gensler is worth $119 million should be a huge warning sign. This is absolutely crazy to me that somebody could be worth $119 million in his position. And we do see down here, Mr. Emmer, there are conflicting reports. Then please see the attached tweet. Also, where is this fire and intensity for Ripple and XRP holders? When is the new day coming? And here we have the 8 members. These are the individuals. We do see down here, breaking Congress members reportedly tried to stop the SEC's inquiry into FTX per the prospect with a March letter that questioned the SEC's authority to inquire about crypto and, in part, FTX. 5 of the 8 received campaign donations from FTX employees from $2,900 to $11,600. And we do see down here, Representative Emmer to FTX, sounds like you're doing a lot to make sure there is no fraud or other manipulation. And here you guys have it. This is from 2021. Today in Financial CMTE, I asked SBF about the extensive guardrails in place protecting crypto spot markets from fraud and manipulation. The SEC cites this concern as the reason they are bearing access to Bitcoin spot ETFs. And yeah, I mean, a lot of things are very interesting. We do see down here, just read replies to his comments. They're all calling him a hero. All part of the marketing campaign led by Grayscale to get a spot Bitcoin ETF. What a joke. And yeah, I think that there's a lot of things happening here. I think that there's a lot of things kind of misconstrued around who is the hero here. At the end of the day, I think that all of these congressmen, all of these individuals should take a step away from crypto. I don't think that any of them are good for crypto. I think that crypto regulations and I think that frameworks should be built from individuals within crypto, companies that are operating within crypto. Ripple is a perfect example. They have a framework already created, already designed. But the problem is that you have individuals that you cannot trust playing this, hero role, even though behind the scenes, they are getting paid off. This is a big concern to me. Now, also, with all of this in mind, we actually do have a quote from Brad Garlinghouse. It looks like we could very well see something very shocking around the SEC. This is that quote from October 21st. When the truth eventually comes out, the shamefulness of their SEC behavior here will shock you. Brad Garlinghouse. And yes, I do believe that there's going to be a lot of information coming out. We actually do see over here from XRP Crypto Wolf, lawyer Bill Morgan said a settlement agreement between the SEC and Ripple is a real possibility because of the Hinman documents. And we do see over here, this is talking about when we could possibly see a settlement happen. I actually have this full-on thread open over here. We will get to that here in a second. But we do see down here leveraging settlement. Earlier, another prominent crypto lawyer and XRP enthusiast, John Deaton, in arguing for a possible settlement between Ripple and the SEC, estimated its likelihood based on 2 factors. The first was the condition that the SEC would be forced to give Hinman's speech to Ripple. The second was a court victory for crypto startup Library when its LBC token sought to be recognized. Now, since, of course, we've seen Library lose the trial, we did see the Hinman recordings were handed over. So we are really kind of betting on that one major thing. That one major thing could ultimately lead to a settlement. However, it seems that the most important thing was to get the former commissioner's speeches, which could expose possible corruption in the regulatory system and undermine the reputation of the SEC. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I would be surprised if there wasn't any corruption. $119 million worth in terms of a net worth for Gary Gensler. Are you kidding me? There's absolutely no way these individuals are not getting paid. And also, By the way, here you guys have the breakdown. Now, this is from Bill Morgan. I actually do follow him over on Twitter. We do see, okay, let's piece together a few things. Ripple have the unredacted Hinman speech documents, but cannot publicly release them. I could understand why not, based on Australian law implied undertaking, but needed to know if there was something similar restricting public disclosure. And of course, this is quoting a tweet from Florence Japan Lover. We do see, Bill, I know you think that a settlement is a strong possibility, but do you think it could happen before end of year? In the U.S., we do see Fred Rispoli, helpfully replied and said there was something similar in the form of a confidentiality order, which Ripple might need to bring a motion to remove the confidentiality designation, not another motion about the Hinman documents, or part of the broader redaction issue. The judge has to decide. His view is a redacted version will be part of or referred to in the Ripple reply brief in his SJ motion. And we do see the sealing motions will not be fully briefed until the new year and decided as part of the summary judgment process. The window for the SEC to avoid public revelation of unredacted or unsealed versions of the documents, which Ripple has seen, subject to a few limited redactions, is not November 30th. What about the documents themselves or keeping them confidential as an incentive for the SEC to settle? Well, we knew they were bad for the SEC because they fought their disclosure tooth and nail for 18 months. If there was any doubt, there were Brad's comments that the documents show something about the SEC's conduct that is shameful. Has everyone forgotten how strong those words actually are and what they convey? And yeah, I do think that these documents are extremely damning. A lot of people are trying to predict a settlement. I'm going to go with what James K. Fallon has said around the settlement. March 31st. Mark your calendar, March 31st, 2023. That is when we can most likely assume that there will be some sort of major update around this case, because all of these summary judgments, all of these major motions that we are waiting for, that we are waiting so patiently for, are going to see the light of day. Now, with all of that in mind, right, what happens after a settlement? Because we can't just ignore everything that has been going on for the last 2 years. I demand answers. You should demand answers. We should all demand answers about the SEC's conduct of business around crypto. Their misconstrued agenda around what deems a currency and what deems a security needs to change. We can't have these individuals oversighting crypto. We know, even going back to our initial tweet over here around Elizabeth Warren, this is from Johnny Dean. Elizabeth Warren is an absolute criminal individual around crypto. These are the types of people that we need to avoid and have really not even have one single finger laid on crypto, because these are the types of individuals that don't want to see crypto continue to innovate further and be adopted in. These are the types of people that want to kill crypto and make sure that DeFi is fully regulated and outlawed. The problem here is these individuals that are trying to have some sort of power play over crypto. It's a big issue, and I do think that we need to make sure that these types of individuals have no sort of power over crypto, because this is the biggest issue that we are seeing right now around the SEC as well. It's the wrong types of people in power trying to do, some sort of, it's like a pushed agenda around what crypto should and shouldn't be, and that's a big problem. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to the notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.